Okay, good evening, everyone. So it's already late. So today we'll go with a small topic only. Just we will discuss about a small topic today and just we can close it. So in the last few sessions, we discussed about the S3, right? Simple storage service. And in that we have covered different features. And today we are going to discuss about a small feature called S3 transfer acceleration. Okay, so today we will discuss about a S3 transfer acceleration, by using which we can improve the upload and download speeds. Give me a second. Okay. So coming to this S3 transfer acceleration, this feature will improve the upload and download speeds of your objects. So in a simple terms, we can say that if you enable this transfer acceleration, automatically the speeds will be improved. But the thing is, we have to know that like how the transfer will be improved. The speeds, how the speeds will be improved by using this particular feature. Any guess like how the how this upload and download speeds will be improved? So before that, let us discuss about a simple scenario. Let us say here, I created one S3 bucket. I created one S3 bucket here, and the S3 bucket is in Northern Virginia region. And here, there is one user who would like to upload a file which is about like 1 GB in size. There is one object, it can be any object, and he is trying to upload one object which is about 1 GB into that particular S3 bucket, and the S3 bucket is in Northern Virginia region. So now there is one user who is from the US, he is trying to upload the file, and he is having, let us say, 50 Mbps internet connection speed, just for an example. And whenever he is trying to upload the 1 GB file, assume that the file will take approximately like 15 minutes of time to upload. All these are kind of assumptions, like whenever the user is trying to upload any object which is about 1 GB in size from the US, that it will take like approximately like 15 minutes to upload that object into the S3 bucket, which is in Northern Virginia. Now, if there is another user who is, let us say, from India, he is also having like, let us say, 50 Mbps internet connection speed, and he is trying to upload the same file to the S3 bucket. Any guess how much time it will take? With the same 50 Mbps internet speed and the same 1 GB file, approximately like exactly the same file, but from two different locations. Definitely not with the same time, right? Because this user is close to the bucket. He is in the US and the bucket is in the US. Obviously, the latency will be very less. Latency means the time takes to send a request and to receive a response. Obviously, the object will be sent very quickly. Same way, like if you would like to travel like 1 kilometer distance, it might take 1 minute. If you would like to travel like 10 kilometers, it will take some extra time, right? Because of the distance and everything. But it is not in the same exact way, but definitely the latency will be high from the farthest locations, and the time takes to upload the object or to download the object will be very high. Let us say, just for an example, it might take like 30 minutes. 30 minutes to upload the same file with the same internet connection speed. So to improve this feature, Amazon is providing you S3 transfer acceleration. And that S3 transfer acceleration feature is available on additional charges. That is not a free, and that is applicable with some additional charges. If you enable the transfer acceleration, it will not give you any extra charge, but the charges are depending on how much data you transfer. With respect, like how much data you uploaded and how much data you downloaded. Based on that, the transfer acceleration charges will be applicable. So first, let us write down like what is transfer acceleration. Then we will discuss how the speeds will be improved. Because Amazon cannot improve your internet connection speed, or Amazon cannot reduce the distance between you and the bucket, right? Then how the transfer speeds will be increased. That we will discuss in some time. But for now, let us write down like what exactly the transfer acceleration is. By using this feature, we can improve the upload and download speeds of any object from S3 bucket. And the transfer acceleration, or we call it as S3 transfer acceleration feature, is available on additional charges. That doesn't mean that if you enable the transfer acceleration, that is not chargeable. The charges are based on the amount of data which we transfer. The charges are based on the amount of data which we transfer. Here the transfer means it can be including upload and download. Both will be applicable for the transfer. So there is no point like only uploads will be charged or only downloads will be charged. Whatever the data you transfer to and fro from the S3 bucket, every data will be available for on additional charges. So once you enable the transfer acceleration, every data transfer is chargeable? No. If you transfer the data using the transfer acceleration, then only the data will be chargeable. Once you enable the data transfer acceleration, Amazon S3 will generate a unique accelerated URL. They will generate a unique accelerated URL. Whatever the data you upload or download using that special accelerated URL, only that data will be chargeable. Only that transfer of data is chargeable. The remaining way, like how you upload using your browser or using the basic URL, basic bucket URL, that is not chargeable. So here, once we enable the transfer acceleration, AWS S3 will generate a unique accelerated URL for the S3 bucket, and the data transferred using the accelerated URL is chargeable. Okay, now any guess like how the data will be accelerated or how the data transfer speeds can be improved? Any guess? For this, AWS will use CDN. What is the CDN stands for? Amazon is having their content delivery network. Have you ever heard about the term content delivery network? The content delivery network is an infrastructure which can transfer the data with high speeds. Across the globe, every Amazon data center and every Amazon's components are connected with high-speed optical cable network. High-speed optical cable network. So obviously the data transfer will be improved. Now we will see how Amazon will improve the transfer speeds using the transfer acceleration. So what is the infrastructure of the AWS, like global infrastructure of the AWS? What are the different components we already covered? Like we know region, availability zones, and already we use a term called edge location, right? What is that edge location? Edge location is a type of content, what we call that caching point where all the data will be cached. But here we are not using the caching service. Here based on the point called content delivery network across the globe, every Amazon's component is connected with high-speed Amazon's optical cable network. What is the optical cable network? In which the data can be transferred using like in the form of light, right? So the data transfer speeds are very high. Let us say if I'm uploading some object from this laptop, the data first has to be going to my ISP. From there, it has to cross different networks across different routers and a lot of things. Obviously, there will be a huge latency and the upload and download speeds will be minimized. So in this case, what exactly this transfer acceleration will do is, let us say here for this S3 bucket, there is one URL called abc.com, just for an example. Whatever the objects we are uploading to the S3 bucket, that might be uploaded using this URL, just for an example. But if you use the transfer acceleration, it will not be uploaded directly to the S3 bucket. Amazon is having a global infrastructure. In the major cities, they are maintaining some kind of edge locations, right? They will maintain edge locations. Edge location is a part of a content delivery network. Might be in India, very closest to you, there will be one edge location. What if I try to upload an object to this particular location? Object will be uploaded or downloaded with quick, right? If I upload to edge location, that will not be placed in the bucket. So whenever you enable that transfer acceleration, they will generate another URL called abc-accelerate.com. Just for the bucket, a different name using the transfer acceleration. Whatever the objects we upload using this particular URL, that will be uploaded first to the edge location. Let us say that might be uploaded because I'm very closest to you. Just for an example, I might upload within 15 minutes. From this edge location to the S3 bucket, that is connected with high-speed optical cable network, so that the data will be uploaded within 5 minutes or less than 5 minutes. So total, how much time it will take to upload? 20 minutes. Earlier, it used to take 30 minutes, but we are able to upload the data with less time. So by comparing the 30 minutes, if you are able to upload within 20 minutes, almost we are uploading like 33% faster. That's how the transfer acceleration will work. Even if you are trying to download, the request will go to the nearest edge location. So we call it as a CDN, content delivery network. The request will be sent to the content delivery network, and the content delivery network will download the data from the S3 bucket and from there to here. Just for understanding purpose, I took like 15 minutes, but the transfer will not go in that way, because all the 1 GB will not be uploaded at a time, right? It will upload like 10 MB, 10 MB, or like 100 MB, 100 MB. Once the first packet is uploaded to the edge location, parallelly the first packet will be uploaded to here. So it will not take even 20 minutes also. It will be completed within 15 minutes or more than like 1 minute extra, 2 minutes extra. That's how the S3 transfer acceleration will be worked. So here, how much data we are uploading using the transfer acceleration? 1 GB. So I will be charged an extra cost for that 1 GB transfer of data. For storing the 1 GB, the storage charges are the same. But whenever I upload the object using the transfer acceleration, for that 1 GB, I will be charged some extra amount for using the transfer acceleration. Okay. So now we will see how to enable it and how to, we will compare that. What is the advantage or how much faster we can upload using the transfer acceleration from different regions. The same speed we don't get from all the regions. From different regions, sometimes you might get the advantage, or sometimes you might get disadvantage also. Let us say I have a bucket in Mumbai, and if I'm trying to upload from Mumbai, instead of using the transfer acceleration, if I upload the object directly, I can upload the data quickly because already it is closest to me, right? If I am using a different path, it will take more time to upload. So in such cases, the transfer acceleration will not give you the advantage over a regular uploads or downloads. Okay. So once you enable, it will generate a unique accelerated URL for the S3 bucket. And whatever the data you transfer using that accelerated URL only will be chargeable. So now what we do is to test this transfer acceleration. Let us create one S3 bucket, and I will name it as S3 transfer. And let me use today's date, 4th July 2022 in Northern Virginia. And then enable transfer acceleration. Enable transfer acceleration and note down the accelerated URL so that we have to identify if someone gave you the bucket URL, we need to identify whether it is a regular URL or an accelerated URL. So how can we identify if someone gave you a URL? How can we identify that? Is it an object URL or a static website hosting URL? How to identify that? What the static website URL contains, which word it contains? It will contains S3-static. That means that URL belongs to the static website hosting. If it doesn't contain S3-static, if it only contains S3, then that is an object URL. In the same way, we can identify by seeing the URL whether it is an accelerated URL or not. Okay, so then we will compare the speeds before and after transfer acceleration. We will compare the speeds before and after transfer acceleration across all the regions. Because no two regions will give you the same performance. There is a URL. By using that URL, you can check whether the transfer acceleration URL will give you the advantage or not. If it is giving the advantage, how much percentage speed you can improve. Can we improve like 1% faster, 10% faster, or 10% slower? Everything we can check using this comparison tool. Okay, first let us create one S3 bucket. Right now I'm in my Amazon account. Let me click on S3 service. Let me click on S3 service. And let us create one S3 bucket. Just click on create bucket. Just create a default bucket. So here we need to give a name. Let me use this name. And I will create with all default features. I don't want to modify any name or anything. Just I'm trying to create a new bucket with all default values. Now we need to enable transfer acceleration. Before that, just click on the bucket name. Click on the bucket name and then click on properties. Click on the properties. And if you scroll down, you can find out an option called transfer acceleration. So here you can see use an accelerated endpoint for faster data transfers. Right? And by default, the transfer acceleration is disabled on all your S3 buckets. Now we are going to enable the transfer acceleration. Click on edit again as the transfer acceleration. So you guys can see there are a lot of edits. You have to identify which edit you have to click. What is our goal? Our goal is to enable transfer acceleration. So we have to click on the edit button, which is available under transfer acceleration. Click on edit. Just select enable. And here there is one URL, right? Accelerated endpoint. Let me copy that before clicking on save changes. Let me note down here. Accelerated endpoint. This is the accelerated endpoint. Generally, a normal bucket contains the bucket name dot s3 dot Amazon AWS. But if it is an accelerated URL, you will get this page, this particular term in the URL. Then click on save changes. Now the accelerated URL got generated, by using which we can upload all your objects with improved transfer speeds. It can be upload or download. So now how to observe, how can we verify that the transfer speeds got improved? How to verify? Any idea? So there is a tool called comparison tool. I will show you one thing here. Here you can get the tool in the documents itself. Let me show you the tool here. Speed comparison tool. I will give you the URL also here. This is the URL. That is the URL we have to use for comparison. Speed comparison before and after enabling the transfer speed. You have to edit the tool because they don't know for which bucket you are trying to check the tool, right? So in this entire URL, so here region is equal to region is there, right? So here you have to give the name of the region in which your bucket is located. In which region our bucket is located? So what we have to mention here? Not Northern Virginia. We can identify the region with the names, but Amazon identify every region using the region code. What is the code of the Northern Virginia? US East 1. I mean US dash East dash 1. And for which bucket you would like to check, the bucket name you have to mention here. So directly you can copy the bucket name. This is the bucket name. Copy the bucket name and here replace the bucket name which is in your bucket name. Then copy the entire URL and just open the browser, any browser, and enter the URL here. Now it will start checking the transfer speeds before and after enabling the transfer. So here what it is doing is, our bucket is in Northern Virginia, right? Now it is trying to upload an object using the direct upload, and then it will upload using the accelerated endpoint. Then it will give you the comparison from Northern Virginia to the bucket. Let me get that value, then we can see. I will explain you like how much performance we can improve within Northern Virginia. So in this particular block, what is happening here is, our bucket is in Northern Virginia, right? Now it is checking the transfer speeds by sending one file from Northern Virginia to your S3 bucket. If anybody is sending the file from Northern Virginia using the transfer acceleration, they can get 9% faster data transfers. Instead of taking 100 minutes, they can upload or they can download the file within 91 minutes. Because the bucket is in Northern Virginia and the data is transferring from Northern Virginia itself. So there will not be much performance improvement. But if you go for the different locations, definitely you will get more faster data transfers. To observe that, we have to wait for a few other regions also. Automatically, it will check from each and every region across the globe. If someone is trying to upload a file from San Francisco, like US West 1, they can get only 2% faster using the accelerated URL. If someone is sending from like Australia or some India, they might get like more data transfer speeds. Just we'll wait for like few minutes, like 2 to 5 minutes. Then we can check randomly from different regions. Apart from this, we don't do anything. Just we have to select enable, so that automatically everything will be configured in the backend automatically by Amazon, and we will get the advantage of the transfer acceleration. And remember, if you enable transfer acceleration from every region, you don't get advantage. If you see here from US West 2, instead of using the accelerated URL, it is advisable to use direct URL. Because if you use the transfer acceleration, your data will be uploaded 1% slower from US West 2. So before using the URL, transfer acceleration URL, you have to check this link. And from your region, if they're providing the better advantage, then only you have to use the accelerated URL. Just wait for some time, and then we can observe all these things. How to? Okay, so here is the URL, right? I uploaded in the notepad. Just I will upload this to the drive. This URL, you have to edit with your region name. So here is the region name, and this is your bucket name. Directly, I'm giving the URL. Like actually, that is available in the documentation page. We have an AWS documentation. Just go to docs.aws.amazon.com. Everything will be available there. So in the search box, you can type S3 transfer acceleration. Okay, then just we can see the comparison tool. Okay, so here you can see, copy the following URL into your browser window, replacing region with AWS region that you are using, and your bucket name with the name of the bucket that you want to evaluate. So here, this you have to replace with your region name, and this you have to replace with your bucket name. Or I can give you this, or I can give you that link also. Okay, this is the reference page from which I copied that particular comparison tool. Okay, if I go back to the acceleration speed, from EU West 1, it is a 2% faster. From European Central, it's a 3% slower. From Tokyo, 1% slower. Every time it will not give you, for every region, it will not give you the better performance. Based on this, you can observe whether it is advisable or is it giving you the advantage over a direct upload, and then you can decide whether to enable or disable. Whether it is slower or faster, if you use the accelerated URL, it will be chargeable. So it is our responsibility to identify whether it is advised to use or not. Always the acceleration will be giving you the benefit if you are uploading or if you are using a transfer acceleration URL from the farthest location. So you can see Seoul, right? Asia Pacific. It is giving you 10% faster. Instead of taking 100 minutes, the data will be uploaded within 90 minutes. Or instead of you uploading instead of taking 10 minutes, it might take only 9 minutes to upload. In the same way, for the remaining also, you can wait for some time and you can check from each and every region. This is how the transfer acceleration will be used. And if you would like to know the charges, so to know the charges, I will show you the link. I will give you that link also. While you are enabling the transfer acceleration itself, there is one option called Amazon S3 pricing. If you click that link, you will get the charges for transferring the data using the transfer acceleration also. So here the data transfer, I will show you that. Okay. North America. If the bucket is in North America, whatever the data you are sending into the Amazon S3, they will charge you 0.0025 per GB. If you are downloading, then that will be 0.0050 per GB. If you are sending the data from North America and other than the North America, this one is only from within North America. In North America, we have almost like what we call that, four regions also, right? If the bucket is in Northern Virginia, and if you're uploading the data from San Francisco or Ohio or Oregon, the charges are based on this one. If you're uploading from India, the charges will be equal for incoming and outgoing. Like if you're uploading, that will be charged like 0.05, and for downloading, that will be 0.05. And Asia Pacific. So here you can check the charges for this one. Transfer acceleration. And if the data transfer in within the Asia Pacific, like Mumbai to Mumbai is the bucket region, and you are sending the data from Sydney or Singapore or somewhere, then the uploading data will be 0.04 and downloading data will be 0.08. And here Amazon S3 and any other AWS region, like within the AWS region to S3 bucket, the charges will be $0.04 per GB. What is the meaning of this? If you are uploading, that is called as within AWS to Amazon S3, right? Then that is the charges will be $0.04 per GB. So there is no fixed charges for every region. Nobody can remember each and every charges. We have to rely on the pricing page of the Amazon S3. If you go to the pricing page, just you can Google it like AWS EC2 pricing. So it will take you to the aws.amazon.com/something, where you can find out the official charges for that particular service and each and every component. Okay, so here, let me go back to the transfer acceleration page. So you can see from Singapore, it is a 1% faster, Sydney, 2% faster. From Mumbai, it seems 63% slower. From Mumbai, it is 63% slower. Why? It depends on a lot of things. At this moment, the connectivity between the Mumbai and the Northern Virginia region. So if you check after some time, that might be improved, because whenever I check, almost for every region, we will get the better performance. This is only used for the certification point of view, but in the real time, nobody will use this transfer acceleration feature because of high data transfer charges and everything. But whenever you are planning for a certification, you can expect a question from this transfer acceleration, like how it will be used. Is there any additional charges? And they might ask you to identify out of these below 4 URLs, which one belongs to the accelerated URL of a specific bucket. So you have to know like how to identify how it looks like. For that reason, we have to know the transfer acceleration. But in the real time, no one will use this S3 transfer acceleration. Or after some time, after one hour or so, again, you can refresh this. So it will give you the details at that particular time. There's a kind of live performance speeds. At that particular point of time, how much percentage of speed you can get, or how much percentage of slow you can get. Depending on that, you will get these values. You can check multiple times during a day and you can get different values. Generally for 4% or 2%, nobody will use this acceleration, right? Unless it is more than 10% or 15% faster. Because 1% is like for every 100 minutes of data transfer, there is only difference of 1 minute. For 1 minute, there is no necessity of paying like huge amount of charges for the data transfers. So unless it is more than 10% of faster, it is not recommended to use the transfer acceleration. If you enable the transfer acceleration, there will be no additional charges unless you use the transfer acceleration URL to upload the data. Now, how to use that? Because if I use the browser to upload, obviously that will be uploaded directly. So how can I use the transfer acceleration URL? Along with this browser, we can upload using the CLI, right? We can upload using the CLI, or you can upload using some third-party tools also. Do you guys know any third-party tool to upload the objects into the S3 bucket? There is one tool called S3 browser. Actually, there is not a browser. There is a tool which we can download for free. This is the one. Or you can use WinSCP. Or you can use WinSCP tool. It is a freeware. S3 browser is a freeware. Let us download it. And while you are trying to logging in, how to log in? How to log in? Definitely we have to give the username and password, right? Which username and password we have to give? IAM user. Okay. With the IAM user, there are two different types of access available, right? Programmatic access and console access. Which one we can? Let us try. Let us try to log in. By installing this tool, let us try to log into the S3 bucket. You can use this S3 browser tool to access your S3 bucket directly, or using the transfer acceleration also. Because I mentioned that whenever you try to upload more than 160 GB file, you cannot use the browser, right? Whenever you're trying to upload any object which is more than 160 GB, you cannot use browser. You can use CLI, or you can use some APIs. So this tool you can use. Any other tools you guys know? Any other tools? Have you ever heard about like WinSCP? WinSCP tool generally we use to upload the objects from Windows computer to the Linux computers. But the same WinSCP will support to access the S3 buckets also. You can use the WinSCP tool to upload and download the objects to and from your S3 buckets. Generally in the real time, we use these kind of tools. Very occasionally, we will use the browser or something. Okay, here the tool got downloaded, S3 browser. Let me try to install it. Click on yes. Click on that, double click. It will start installing. Now the tool is getting installed, and let me click on finish. By default, the tool will be open. Okay, now how to log in? I think by seeing here, you can easily identify, right? What all you can see? Display name, you can use any name, that doesn't matter, right? And account type, Amazon S3 storage. What it is asking? What is the meaning of that? You cannot log in using management console type of a user. Let us say if I type my username and password. It will give me an error. Unable to perform requested action. Because Amazon don't know to which account I am trying to log in. So only you have to use what we call that programmatic access user only. So quickly what I do is, so how to use S3 browser tool to upload and download objects into S3 bucket. So the first step, download the S3 browser tool, then install S3 browser tool, and then we must use programmatic access credentials to log in. So generate access key ID and secret access key for your user, any user. And then log in using S3 browser and upload an object. And I will give you the tool link, download link also. This is the URL from where you can download the tool, the software. Already we installed. And how to generate a secret access key and access key ID. How to generate? I would like to generate for root user because I am using only root user. Just I will use root user to generate access key ID and secret access key. Because we know like how to generate for IAM user, right? How to generate for IAM user? Go to the IAM user and click on the username, go to security credentials where you can click on create new key. But what about this? Because the root user cannot be visible from the IAM console. So how can we generate a pair of keys for root user? Because in the IAM session, we have seen how to generate access key ID and secret access key for an IAM user. Now I would like to generate for the root user. Okay, now let us see, like already we have downloaded and we have installed. Now we need to generate access key ID and secret access key for the root user. Just log into the Amazon account. Log into the Amazon account using the root user. You must log in as a root user. No other admin user can generate access key ID and secret access key. Root user can generate his own access key ID and secret access key. No other IAM user can generate for root user. Log in as a root user. Click on the account name and click on security credentials. So here you can see access keys. Click on access keys and create new access key. By default, you will get in this way. By default, you will get this page. Once you click on security credentials, you will get this page. Click on access keys. Then click on create new access key. So you can copy paste it or you can download the file. The file will be generated. Okay, now let me use this to log in. So we generated access key ID and secret access key. Now let us see how to log in. To log in, just open the S3 browser tool. Open the S3 browser tool. Double click on that. Wait. Okay. So click on new bucket. Sorry, wait. Click on accounts and click on add new account. So you can use your name or whatever it is, what you would like to display. Here you have to paste the access key ID and here you have to paste the secret access key. And then click on add new account. Here you can give any name that doesn't matter. You can use ABC or XYZ also, that doesn't matter. That is only for your identification purpose. Enter access key ID and secret access key and make sure that account type is Amazon S3 storage. Click on add new account. What happened? Okay. So once you add, click on accounts and you can select your account name here. So you can see all your buckets here. So from here, can I create a new bucket? Yes, you can. Like new bucket, create new bucket. The bucket will be created in your Amazon account. Your bucket will be created in your Amazon account itself. If I go to the S3, I can see a new bucket in my Amazon account. Every action you can do using the S3 browser tool. You can create the new buckets. Just now I created a new bucket called new bucket 4E2C2889, right? If you go to your Amazon account, you can see that. If I would like to upload, so to which bucket I would like to upload? I would like to upload to this bucket, right? So here I can files, upload files, or directly you can upload folder also. Select upload folder. Let me select one folder here. S3 or select folder. Now it is uploading all the files. All the files got uploaded. You can see there are different files available. If I close this, and if I go to that particular bucket, you can see a folder here, and you can see all the files. Simplest way to upload and download the files. Or you can use the WinSCP also. WinSCP is another tool. This is also a free. Both S3 browser and WinSCP, both are free. You can download this for free. But in this tool also, you have to use the programmatic access only. You cannot use the console type of access. Download WinSCP. The tool is getting downloaded. Once it got downloaded, you can install. So there you have to select S3 and you can use that. You can use to log in. But always you have to use the access key ID and secret access key. Okay, but you can use, there are n number of tools available. Just for example, I told you only two tools, right? One is a WinSCP and the second one is the S3 browser. Like that, there are n number of tools. Whatever the tool you use, the process will be the same. There is no difference in these using the tools and all the things. In every tool, you have to use the programmatic access key ID and secret access key. The username and password will not work. Just a regular software installation. Once the software got installed, you have to open the tool like this. Click on just new session. Here, instead of SFTP, you have to select Amazon S3. Let me show you that also. Where is that access key ID and secret access key? I will use that WinSCP also to log in to the S3 bucket. This is WinSCP. Here, file protocol, you have to set to Amazon S3. Don't change the host name. Keep that host name as is. Access key ID. And wait. Access key ID and secret access key. This is the secret access key. And click on login. You can log in. These are the buckets, right? But here you cannot create new bucket. Here you cannot create new bucket. Just in the bucket, existing buckets, you can use it. Just double click. It will open that. This is the file, right? So if you would like to upload, how to upload? Just you can go back to your anywhere, wherever you would like to have. Just go to this. Let me upload, not these many. Let me upload few, drag and drop here. Okay. Or just you can right click and you can click on upload also. So here the data is getting transferred. Like it is uploading with 500 KB per second. It depends on like my internet speed and all the things. Like this, you can use any kind of a tool to directly upload into your S3 bucket without logging into the Amazon using your browser. But this is a kind of a programmatic access. This is a kind of a programmatic access. Okay. So this is about the transfer acceleration and how to upload and download the files from a S3 bucket using some third-party tools like S3 browser or WinSCP. But in this case, you have to use only the programmatic access. You cannot use the management console access. Okay, right. So are you guys clear or any questions on this? Okay, if you guys are clear, we can stop the session. So tomorrow we can go with a new topic. Those are important ones like life cycle rules. What is the meaning of a life cycle? What is the meaning of a life cycle? Life cycle. Have you ever heard about like life cycle as of now in any other service? EC2. Recycle, not recycle. Life cycle. What is the meaning of a life cycle? Forget about Amazon. In generally, what is the meaning of a life cycle? Total life, right? So whatever the data you store in the S3 bucket, you can define the life cycle of the objects. After how many days, what should happen to the object? After how many days, the object has to be completely deleted. A kind of automated rules that is called as a life cycle rules. I will give a simple example. So like by using life cycle, today I uploaded one object into the S3 bucket. So I will create the life cycle rule. Automatically, after 30 days, that object will be moved from standard to standard IE. After 60 days, that object will be automatically moved to one zone IE. After 180 days or after 90 days, that object can be moved to glacier. After 365 days, that object will be deleted permanently. So according to our requirement, you can define those many days. What should happen after so many days? That we can configure in the life cycle. And if you remember in the EBS topic also, we have used the term called life cycle, right? Life cycle manager. What is the use of life cycle manager in the EBS? We created automated snapshots, right? We decided like when to create an automated snapshot, how many days it has to be preserved, and after how many days it has to be deleted. Wherever you hear the term called life cycle, that depends or that belongs to the life cycle of the data. It can be a conversion of the data or it can be automated snapshot. Okay, so that part we can cover in the tomorrow's session. Okay, before that, are you guys clear on the transfer acceleration and the third-party tools, how to use to access the S3 bucket, or any questions? If you have any questions, you can ask, and if you are clear, you guys can leave and we can continue the session from tomorrow. Due to heavy rain, like it got delayed today. Mostly from tomorrow, we will start on time. Okay, thank you everyone. We'll continue tomorrow.